Hello, Amanda Craven here with the second of my marketing predictions for 2012, and as you can probably hear, I've got a slightly husky voice thanks to a bout of flu. Yay! But I'm going to bravely carry on regardless. So let's talk about video. Now, I believe that video, huge as it was throughout 2011, will become the sales and delivery tool of choice through 2012. But you have to do it right. So, first, before I tell you how to do it, let me give you some reasons why you should do it. Well, video is the preferred learning medium for most people. And that's simply because it appeals to more of our learning styles. Now, we all have a preferred learning style. Some of us are auditory, some of us are visual, some kinesthetic. And video covers at least the first two. You know, we can see, we can hear. We can't yet be touchy-feely with video, although it is the closest thing we can get right now. So for those reasons, it means that the message you put across through video will reach more people in the way they prefer to receive it, which can only be a fantastic thing when it's your message, whether it's your sales message or your profile raising message that you want to get across. Now, another very compelling reason is that if you look at this statistic, YouTube is the second most visited site after Google. Now, not only that, but with video, the SEO benefits are enormous because search engines and social media sites give an awful lot of weight to video. And this does mean that if you optimize a video correctly, if you have some good long tail keywords, you can get it up there on that coveted first page within a day or so. Is perfectly possible. And it also means that, you know, the link juice is extremely good back to your site, and always, you know, if you've shared a video on YouTube or if you've shared it through the tube sharing sites I'm going to talk about later to other places such as Metacafe and Vimeo, always embed it on your own site as well. So, some more reasons for using video. Now, very importantly, there is no longer a technical barrier to hurdle. It's really, really easy to make a video these days. It literally is point and click. And in some of my products I talk about ways to make video, but you know, you're just as well off with something like the free Windows Movie Maker as you are with some of the more complex solutions. There's also the thing I've been playing with all morning, which I love, which is this the script for making video sites very, very quickly for AdSense, which to me is an absolute godsend because it means that I can use some of those domains I've had sat there for ages doing nothing, and they'll become much more compelling to my AdSense visitors. And I'm going to now tell you why that is. And it's because, as I've said, videos are more accessible, but they also have higher rates of visitor retention. This means people are going to hang around longer on your site because they're far more likely to watch a 2-minute video than they are to read through a long page of text. And if you think about it, that's logical, because these days most of the information we receive is in bite-sized chunks, whether you're aware of that or not. Even books have shorter chapters these days, very commercial books. And we are accustomed and attuned to receiving our information through multiple platforms at the same time. I mean, how often? I do this all the time. I sit on the sofa, laptop on my lap, television on. You know, I might be looking at YouTube, I might be clicking through, say, a video on Facebook that someone has shared, and I've also got the TV on in the background. Now, this might not be ideal, but it's a realistic portrait of what we're all up to. And therefore, this way of receiving information is something we're used to, something we like. We like to ingest our information this way. And 2 minutes, incidentally, 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes, is around about optimum if you want to have a short, punchy sales video on your site. So how best to use video? Social media is fantastic because when you spread a video through social media such as Facebook or Twitter, it's far more likely to be shared, and that's because these sites, again, give it a lot of weight. So if you're lucky, you might get that essential viral effect. I'm not going to say you will, but if your content is great, if it's fun, if it's interesting, if it's compelling, then people are going to share your video. And if you think about the reach of these sites, potentially that's an audience of millions and millions of people. Again, I'm not telling you this is going to happen, but it's perfectly possible. And when you think about the negligible cost compared to the likely benefits, that's an unbelievable resource to have at your fingertips as a marketer. Now, when you're using video in sales letters, I find that it works best when you combine it with text. And this has actually been proven in tests. You know, people have enumerated and evaluated sales letters and worked out that if you have your headline and you have your subhead and then perhaps a few intro lines, and then your sales video, and then you have your closing, which takes the prospect through to that buy button, that's a very effective way of structuring a sales letter these days, just as, if not more effective than the traditional long-form sales letter. So how best to use this powerful resource? Well, there are a load of distribution services, some free, some paid. TubeMogul is one I would recommend. They have a service on their site called OneLoad, and you can then share your video to all the major video sites. Now, for non-commercial use, it's free. If you're going to use it for commercial use, such as affiliate marketing, you should be aware that there is a charge of, I think, $75 a year at the moment. And yes, to me, it's a nominal charge spread across the year, but it is necessary to pay it if you're going to use your videos for overt commercial use. Now, as well as sharing your videos on sites such as YouTube and Vimeo and Metacafe and so on, you can and you should use them on your own sites to add weight to your message, first of all. Now, people believe more in a message delivered via video, and that's because they get to engage with you more, especially if you make a video like the one I'm delivering to you now, where you get to hear me. It feels real. You get all the ums and the ers and the stutters and so on, but that actually can be far more powerful, as I've said in some of my courses, than some of those slick little Animoto videos, because marketing is swinging towards humanization, as all businesses, because of social media, because we now get to see the humans, who people, the business who are behind the product, and we want to see that. And therefore, through video, you allow access to that human face of whether it's your business or whether it's simply you. You increase your personal brand and you increase your believability. So that's the added weight, but it also increases site magnetism. It's a draw. Now, this again is logical. If you think about it, the compulsion to stare at a moving image is enormous. If you just see TVs in shop windows, people stop and they stare at them, which, if you think about it, is bizarre. They could just go home and watch TV. But and in pubs, in restaurants, in airports, you gaze at that flickering, moving screen. So if you think about this, having this embedded on your site is equally as powerful, especially when you combine it with something like AdSense, because you've got that higher visitor retention. They're hanging around longer. They're watching your video. Then where are they going to go? What are they going to do? Oh, look at this interesting link. And that's why, if you think about combining video with other methods, that's where you increase and intensify the power of this 10, 20, 1,000 times. I cannot urge you enough to add this to your marketing arsenal this year. It's easy, it's practically free to access, and it's something which will return so many times over on your small investment of time and effort. So I've added in some resources below, including that link to TubeMogul if you'd like to check that one out. And I will be back, hopefully slightly less husky voiced, in the next video to talk to you more about that necessity to build the human side of your marketing efforts, to really engage with your prospects and with those people who will benefit from your expertise or your products or whatever it is that you are trying to promote via the internet. So until then, have a great day. Talk to you soon.